Hi, welcome back to my Pick a Card channel, the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here today with a pick a card reading for you. So get cozy, pull up a chair. We're going to have a little chat today because we're all friends when we gather around my table. I want to welcome my beautiful returning subscribers as always. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to all of my new subscribers this month as well. I really appreciate all of you, and I really appreciate your beautiful, kind comments here. I also appreciate anyone who has sent me comments underneath my shorts or underneath my TikTok videos as well. I do have my link below for TikTok if you would like to go check me out over there as well. But welcome to the Tarot Cottage here on YouTube. I do offer a chance for my subscribers to win a free tarot reading. So be sure, if you are dropping me a comment below and you would like to be entered for your chance to win, be sure to hit your notification bell if you would like to be entered. That way I can notify you if you're chosen the winner and we can get the ball rolling. I will notify you in the comments section if you are the winner of the free tarot reading, and I give you very clear indications on how to reach out to me via one of my links below. So be sure to protect yourself from scammers who are posing as the Tarot Cottage here or on Instagram, because they seem to be making their rounds around Instagram again as well. I'm waiting to hear back from my most recent winner as well, so be sure to check your notifications if you have dropped me comments in the past. But welcome to the Tarot Cottage. Today's topic is all about a no contact situation. How are they feeling, and are they going to reach out to you? We're going to try to find a time frame as well. We are dealing with the collective energy, so that's difficult to pinpoint, but we're going to try to take a look at that too. So we have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the red flower, or the pink flower with the High Priestess. Pile number 2 with the yellow flower and the Empress. Pile number 3 with the dark red flower and the Queen of Wands. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting, and my timestamps are listed below. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Again, today we are doing a no contact reading. How do they feel, and are they going to reach out to you? Are they planning on reaching out? Pile number 1. Hi, pile 1, you are drawn to the pink flower and to the High Priestess, and this is your reading. How does this person in no contact feel about you, and are they planning on reaching out? Will they reach out to you? The High Priestess does speak about sort of an intuitive knowledge, sitting upon information I know to be true as well about this connection, and how there's something about this connection that feels both empowering and sometimes disempowering at the same time for you, and perhaps for your person too. I feel like you have a knowledge about this connection that goes deeper than typical connections. It's almost like your intuition tells you there's something special about this, or there's something special about this person, or what they were supposed to teach you. I also feel like there's a hidden energy. It's like they haven't shared everything. They're showing me a rosary too, so there's a Catholic connection potentially for someone, or someone's praying over this situation or has prayed over the situation. I'm going to start with the Impressionist Tarot for you to start today. So how does their person in pile number 1 truly feel in no contact? And are they going to reach out? We do have the King of Cups coming out in the reverse position. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. They don't have to be, of course. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And they're showing me like a greyhound race, actually. Instead of a horse race, they're showing me like the greyhound that chases the rabbit. And for some reason, they're highlighting the word skinny. So that could be like something about your body, or even feelings about themselves, about not being enough, not having enough to offer. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Four of Cups. Back of the deck, we do have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Eight of Cups coming out. We're just going to put it just like that. I'm going to clarify this as we go forward here. How do they truly feel in this moment, please? And do they plan on reaching out to pile number 1? Back of deck is already 9 of Swords, which means that there's been a lot of thought that's gone into this connection from your person. They sleep on it. They lose sleep over it. I feel like they've dreamt about you as well. There's something about a dream surrounding you in general. And it's like there's there's something missing for this person. They're showing me like the empty chair. It's like there's something missing in my life. There's an empty chair here. And it's almost like they're showing like Tiny Tim, like Tiny Tim, and when his chair is missing, and how sad that is in that story, in that movie where we realize Tiny Tim passed away. It's like there's just something, this almost like a fear too, of like not knowing what's going on in your life, not knowing anything of what's going on. So that's creating this fear. It's like something's missing. There's a chair here where you should be sitting. We have the Five of Cups coming out with the King of Cups again. They definitely could be a water sign. There's also an aspect of fatherhood with the King of Cups as well. So there is the potential that this person has moved into that cycle perhaps as well. But they're also speaking about not letting this ship sail away. The little animals underneath, I say animals, but they're whales or they're sharks or something. They haven't expressed themselves and they were being strategic. I feel like they're still being sort of strategic, and they are filled with regret of what they've lost. And they're not sure if you're on the same page as far as your feelings of loss. Are you experiencing it in the same way? Is it as profound as it is for them? In their mind, they don't know that it is, but if they trust their intuition, Spirit says that they would be able to see the truth. They are actually speaking about this person being very intuitive. There's like a healing energy surround this person, very sort of creative person. We have the Ten of Wands. And you'll notice here with the Ten of Wands that this person has an entire back filled with different flowers, and yet they're trying to pick the tulips, and the tulips are passion. And so it's like I had all of these other flowers, but I didn't get the passionate response from you, or I didn't get to have a passionate relationship with you. And that's something that I wanted, something that I still want in this moment, is maybe more passion in my life in relation to you. And they think of you as like a benchmark of that failure. It's like I didn't get to cross that bridge with you. And now they want to sort of rush to the past to try to make corrections, but they know that that's impossible. There's a sense of them learning. Back of deck even says Page of Swords. You can see they look like they are graduating from a wish. And there's an emphasis on school. So they may have gone to school with you, or they just received a really profound education because of what they've influenced, how you have influenced them here. We have the Temperance. They are also sort of, they want action, but they can't come forward now. They know that now is not the time to approach you in this present moment. We're going to look at their intentions moving forward into the future, but in this present moment, they're like, I can't come forward because I'm trying to defend something. Could even be trying to defend something for you or defend something for themselves. And part of this defense might even be their opinion of things. Because as long as they stay away, the hidden energies can remain safe somewhere. They can sit upon information that they themselves know to be true, and that could be a subjective opinion of the mutual connection, for instance, because they're not 100% sure that you are on the same page, but in their fantasies you are. So part of this intention of saying I want to protect you or protect myself, and that's why I'm not coming forward now, part of that is just trying to protect this version of you that they've built up for themselves. Because you're the Queen of Pentacles in their mind. And they know they're keeping you waiting. They know they've kept you waiting. You may feel like they've really been keeping you waiting. And this makes you wonder about your empowerment. It's like, what was wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Maybe they don't feel the same way about me. But again, you're both wrong about that regard. And it's like they're showing like the opera scene in behind her. And so they're highlighting clarity and expression through the voice. And it's almost like you're waiting for them and they're waiting for you. And I just heard all the world's a stage. So the two of you wearing masks in this connection in the present moment. We have the King of Swords. And they keep you waiting because they think that that's the logical approach. But this is actually, it's like they're convincing themselves they're taking the lead in that. They're not taking the lead at all. They're calling logic the approach, but their logical approach is actually them taking a back seat. Because it's interesting to me that this person feels like they're being ignored by you, and you feel perhaps like you're being ignored by them. So it's like that tale, you know, the old tale of the school dance and being on one side of the gym and on the other side of the gym, and nobody starts the dance. They are highlighting too the base of this tree and like the heart of the tree. I feel like you really made a strong impression on this person. Like they feel like they have been sort of changed in some ways through this connection, despite no contact here. We have the Hanged Man. Back of the deck, we do have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Hierophant coming in the reverse position. You know, there is a feeling of having a problem with facing you, having a problem with even authority, or having a problem with institutions that I've invested in. Could be work, could be education, government, marriage, things like that. Again, I feel like this could have started in school or even in the work realm for some people, but I don't feel like the two of you are in school or currently working together at this time, because it is in no contact after all. How do they currently feel, please? They've definitely surrendered to the wrong perspective, and that can be very dangerous when it comes to momentum moving forward. What are they currently feeling in this present moment for pile number 1, please? We have here getting back to basics, and you will be taken care of in difficult times. We have the staff energy, and the staff, I think about a cane that grounds me. Every time I take a step, I will take a step with the staff and I ground the staff. And there is something about their environment and worrying about cultivating the rewards that they've already invested in, that they're weighing against the option of reaching out to you. It's like, I can't go back to the past. I wish I could go back to the past to start from scratch. But I also feel like you're a distraction in their work realm. We have a two-faced friend. So this could have been friendship in the past and should have evolved into something more romantic. But again, masks were being worn by two people here. Because there's the tulip, great passion. And I feel like it's like great personal sorrow, because that opportunity was waiting, the great passion, and that was a doorway to the love. But I feel like the love sort of was a precursor, and it had to remain a precursor because the two of you never moved into a passionate realm potentially. Or if you did, they're really longing for more of that. We do have an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. We have the rooster. They are protecting something. They could be protecting an environment or protecting your environment. But the truth is that they're protecting their own ego in this moment, and they always have been. It's like this rooster may be a rooster protecting that hen house, but it's also a form of a chicken. So there is a fear that does trickle down from this person's perspective, and that they apply so that it stops them from action at times. But we're going to take a look and see what the future holds here. We have here, it is time to release negativity, the full moon in Scorpio. In order to create changes in our life, we have to face the unknown within the moon and have to step outside of our comfort zone. What they have learned is that confidence was the key to success. And these educations, these lessons that we receive from the past, we take them and we're supposed to apply them. You know, but like a lot of education, if you think back to everything you've learned in school, it's like some of it was lost, you know, and so we get to pick and choose of what we apply in our situation. Let's get a couple of message cards here to see what they're currently thinking and feeling before we take a look at whether they are going to reach out to you, pile 1. What are they currently thinking and feeling towards pile number 1, please? It says here, I know we are going to start over. And confidence will be the key to that success as well. I feel great, except when I don't. It's like the Emperor energy, somebody who is wearing masks and they feel like they should have arrived, like the Emperor has arrived at a position that he deserves. But sometimes we arrive at a position that we've worked really hard for and we recognize, I'm still thirsty, it's still raining. And we question, it's like, why? Patience. My grandma always said patience is a virtue seldom seen in women and never seen in men. But I feel like the Temperance calls for patience. This could be a very long-standing no contact situation here, and they know they have to be patient to perhaps implement plans that they have. Nothing brings me peace in this situation. The chaos that this creates at this moment is too scary. It says, but I can't stop myself. I need closure. This could be a very good indication of their intentions moving into the future, pile 1. I am trying currently to choose. And the clarity has been a blessing and a curse. because with the clarity is a call to action. I am keeping an eye on you, but it's a secret. They could be watching your social media. They have contemplated contacting you, and I feel like they contemplated contacting you this year. This is taking too long. And the back of the deck says, I've been meaning to tell you something about their love, about their feelings. So let's take a look here and ask Spirit. Now we are looking at the future of the connection here. We're looking at the Four of Cups and we're looking at the Hanged Man. The issue with the momentum in the future at this point in time with your person is that they've surrendered to a helplessness. And that surrender is not going to improve the situation. It's like they're waiting for what's going to be revealed to them. That's part of their intention. Will they reach out, please, to pile number 1? Are there intentions to reach out to pile number 1? Magician is here holding a key. He is oftentimes in control of communication. He rules the planet of Mercury. 3 of Wands. They definitely have intentions towards reaching out to you. I do feel like there will be a delay because in this present moment, they know that now is not the time. But you are the wind in the sails towards expansion. We do have Justice. Coming out, back of deck is the Knight of Wands. And there's the 3 of Swords. Okay, so I do feel like they have very strong intentions towards reaching out to you, pile 1. I also feel, however, that their position might complicate things, and they have intentions of taking the masks off, of speaking the truth. Back of deck is the Knight of Wands, but underneath, with this narwhal energy that comes up out of the surface, their intentions are to tell you how special you are, how unique you are to them, how heartbroken they are, that things have turned out this way. I do feel like there could be some complications that create more struggle even after communication comes in. So, but you'll understand if there are complications on your end, or if you're privy to what's going on in their life, you'll understand what those complications look like. Because with this education, or I'm sorry, with this communication, we get a chance to change directions with the dragonfly. And the grass is green where we water it. She's got the watering can on her back. So ultimately, I feel like this Hierophant energy might be the obstacle. But somebody's trying to manifest change. In this moment, they do feel like it's not the time to come forward at this moment, but their intentions are there. I just heard like my truth might start a riot. That's what I just heard. My truth might start a riot. Do you have any indication of when for the collective, please, Spirit, that this could open up in communication? You have the Knight of Swords. They're deep contemplation, but right now the Knight of Swords sword is stuck in the ground. They know it's going to take some time because of the karmic trenches that we're building for ourselves in this moment. We have the Empress and the 6 of Wands. There's a feeling of like giving peace a chance, and the truth is that Spirit says that this is going to come in pretty slowly. Knight of Pentacles, also showing here the 6 of Pentacles with like a beggar's charm or like a beggar's can. So I feel like we're at least, in the very least, a year away. In the very least, Spirit says. We may be teetering up towards more patience than that moving into the future, but the intention is here. And when the intention is there, the inspiration is there, and all they have to do is take action. And what you do with that information, what you do with that momentum is within, it's like it's within your control at that time. Advice for pile number 1 in the bowl, please. The Sun reversed. So there's been a delay in clarity, but that's what Spirit's calling it, is a delay in this moment. And they say that like there was like youth involved and inexperience, because I don't feel red flags from this person from the past. I feel like their red flags are now. It's like now they have to sort of face the changes in their life, but there's a loyalty to their desire. There's a loyalty to sort of express themselves to you. They're just a little bit stressed out about disappointing other people within the dynamics of that loyalty to you. Oh, stuck to my finger. We have the letters K and P. We also have watermelon. I always think of that Harry Styles song, Watermelon Sugar High. It's very sexual. We have here ballerina shoes. I do think about momentum. I think about moving with grace, and tiptoes. Look at what they go on their tiptoes. It's like I'm tiptoeing towards something. We do have Cupid's arrow here coming through with love. So sudden. Their communication is going to come in suddenly. They do have crystal clear intentions that they have thought about repeatedly. So that's like they built up a scenario in their mind about what's going to happen when they do reach out to you. But it's going to take time for that communication to come in. The phone is off the hook, and it is a slow handsaw in control in the bowl. Pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading. My link for TikTok is down there as well, and for Instagram, so come check me out over there if you feel called to. I'm going to start doing lives here on YouTube if you guys are interested, and perhaps on TikTok too. So if you guys are interested in that, drop me a comment or leave me a comment on my community tab. I just want to know what you guys are into. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you have a great afternoon, and come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the yellow flower. You were also drawn to the Empress energy, and this is your reading. The person on your mind in no contact, how do they feel, and are they going to make contact with you? Will they reach out? The Empress energy here is all about almost like innocence. I'm seeing like Mother Mary. It's like virginity. I'm thinking of motherhood as well with the Empress. But the Empress in overall is all about the most abundance. It's like she represents the divine feminine in all of her glory. She's sensual, she's smart, she's loving, she has everything going for her. This is this person's opinion of you, and it also represents the divine feminine and the other counterpart of the divine masculine as well. You were drawn here to the yellow flower, and I always think about fear within the yellow flower in the lower chakras. So perhaps fear to step into their power with you, fear to acknowledge who you were and what you represented in their life. I'm going to use the Muse Tarot for you to begin. How do they currently feel about pile number 2, please? In no contact. This person on pile 2's mind in no contact. What are their current feelings for pile 2? We have the 8 of Cups. They feel like they should move on. Like they feel like they should. The question is, can I? Am I capable of it? Because they're talking about walking away from something, and it's like they walked away from you thirsty. So I feel as though there was an innocence between the two of you. Two of Wands. It's like they walked away to find themselves. So it almost feels like the two of you were separated when you were entering into like college years, or it's like you were maybe growing up together, or you came of age in some way, and then there was a separation that just came naturally. Like it's like I walked away to find something. We have the Moon. And I feel like they walked away, but it's like they carried you with them. Even though they were walking away, they didn't realize. It's like when we're young, we think that if we can just get out, if we can just make a change, if we can just run away from things, and we don't have to face that baggage, you know? And this happens not just in relationships, but even in our healing cycles. It's like if you grow up in a bad home and you think, all I have to do is get out of here. All I have to do is get out of this house, and then I'll be healthy, I'll be safe, everything will turn around for me. But you don't realize the emotional baggage you're carrying with you because of that negative home. And it feels like that with this person. It's like I thought if I could just walk away, I wouldn't be affected by the connection. But I found more than I bargained for. We have the 7 of Wands. And we have the 4 of Cups. It's interesting because there is a lot of similarities in the final column here between pile number 1 as well. So there could be a message waiting for you there. We have the 9 of Cups and the King of Wands. They could have been a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. I think they had a huge crush on you. I think they had a huge crush on you, and I think part of them still has that huge crush on you in the present moment. And it's like they can't make sense of still holding on, like they know they should release. They can't make sense out of it. It's like, why does this connection disarm me so much? They are very curious as to what you're up to in this moment, and they feel like there was a lot that was left unsaid between the two of you. So you guys may not have expressed yourself in a very real way because a lot was left unsaid. It's like, I want to clear up the confusion with you. Here's the Queen of Swords. But I might have been waiting for you to clear up the confusion first. It feels like they see you in a different light now, too. It's like you're smarter, you're more capable, you're more mature. You could be in a leadership role. There's teaching elements coming through here too. So you might even be a teacher. So take that as it resonates. That won't be for everyone. There's something about an educator in you. And truthfully, even if that extended into your career realm, they're saying that you educated them. Your influence, your emotions, or the inspiration that you created educated them. I do feel like this could have been a friendship, pile 2. Like, it was more than a friendship. We always sort of felt it, but it's a friendship. Or it's like they were very different than a friend, but it was a very blurry line. We have the Strength, Leo energy, Scorpio, very strong as well. And we have the Judgment. And they fear that they made a huge mistake. They're trying to, like, it's almost like they're trying to skirt over that reality, but they did make a huge mistake. They made a huge mistake. And they know that there are still obstacles that could be cleared up, but that fear of making more big mistakes follows them around. It's like when we feel like we make a lot of mistakes, sometimes we get paralyzed to make a decision. And that's what it feels like. It's like, I have a fear of change. I had a fear of change. It's still influencing me. But they're struggling with, it's like they're struggling with being self-critical. They're struggling with taking responsibility for their part in the present moment, which is what's fueling their helplessness here too. I don't feel like there's any contact here at all, because there is an aspect of them feeling like they're being ignored by you or overlooked, or you were overlooked, or they overlooked you, or vice versa in the past. You both overlooked each other. It's like you both didn't see each other. But the thing is that I feel like you both saw each other. It's just about being able to make that connection between what we're seeing and going through this conflict, because there's the Five of Swords and the Ace of Swords, because the reality here stings because you both had the information. This lack of clarity isn't actually a lack of clarity at all. It's just a lack of expression and a lack of expressing that clarity. But there's no lack of clarity between the two of you. There's just us stuck here in the conflict saying, well, if I say something, it's going to blow up in my face. And if you saying, if I say something, it's going to blow up in my face too. So it's like we gaslit ourselves into indecision, or we gaslit ourselves into this perspective right now. They don't know what to do, because they know that they should release, but they also don't know how, and they don't know how to make changes in the situation. We have Scorpio and work through your fears. I believe that came out in pile 1, actually. They could be perhaps a Scorpio energy. We also have a very strong air element here, so Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And that's what they're currently doing when it comes to this connection, because they've had epiphanies about who you are. They could feel it in their soul. It's like they were ignited in the physical. They could feel the connection in the physical, in their stomach. They could feel it. But they hadn't reached that point of awareness yet where they could apply, where they could connect the dots of that. Conclusions are within reach. This is like the Seven of Wands card for me. We do have the Seven of Wands here too. And they are meditating and contemplating about how to reach those conclusions. Because they do feel like the two of you just chased each other around. It's like there was this cat and mouse game. We were chasing each other around the table, and it was impossible for us to catch each other. How do they currently please? This person in no contact with pile number 2. Cracked cup. They're dissatisfied with the life that they've created, and they're very dissatisfied with the turn of events in this connection. And I feel as though they should have taken the advice of their higher self, because there was a voice in their head, or there was voices around them that said, you need to do something about this. These voices could have even come in the form of friends. and people in their life, they're like, why aren't you asking them out? Or why aren't the two of you together? Like, I feel like there was chatter around your connection with the people around you. People talked about it, or you chatted with other people. Like, people were aware. And so there's a feeling of not taking that advice, and that leads to dissatisfaction. Because I feel like there's somebody who's almost wagging a finger. It could even be their higher self saying, if you just listen to me, then you'd be in a completely different situation. But they do feel like something is missing, that something is lacking in their life. They're not happy in general in this present moment. And they do see your connection as like the moment that things sort of went wrong. It's like that was the moment, that was the day when everything kind of went downhill. We do have it. News is on the way with the bird flying. And romance, celebration, and party. The fan. Someone who is a big fan of you, but that hid behind that fan. And there's a sense of heat. It's like being in church and having the fan. We have spiritual torch and development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. And that's what you helped them to break through. You helped them to break through to perhaps a powerful epiphany, but a painful one at the same time. Because it led them to conclusions about you, but it didn't create any solutions for them, because maybe, again, they're holding on to logic. They're not letting those solutions in. What sort of thoughts are they having about pile number 2, please? How do they truly feel in no contact with pile number 2? They are still self-preserving in this present moment with the 5 of Swords. Do you want me to? Is this a mutual connection? What are they thinking and feeling, please? It says, I'm going to fix it, but first I have to fix me. And that comes through with the Spirit just showed me, again, the Judgment reverse. It's like that comes through with their denial of error. It's like or denial and their fear of change. It's like they're procrastinating. Even with this reality, they're still procrastinating. It's like before I can do this, I have to do this first. It's like I keep putting a but in front of the momentum. I am currently wearing a mask. And I miss you terribly. Do you miss me too? I do pretend that I don't care, but I do. And the truth is that I look for you everywhere I go. Especially if they're ruminating about you, it's almost like they expect you to pop up unexpectedly, because it's like I'm conjuring you up. I want you so badly. And I spend a lot of time daydreaming about you. Back of the deck says, I'm afraid that you won't like the person that I've become. So there could have been a period of time of longevity in between in seeing them the last time and perhaps seeing them again. So let's ask Spirit about the future here. We are looking first here at the 4 of Cups and the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords is supposed to be the leader in communication. He's supposed to take initiative and be that leader, but he's right now supporting this 4 of Cups. Their focus is on reunions, but are they going to reach out, please, to pile number 2? We have the World. We have the Ace of Swords, along with the 5 of Pentacles. We also have the Lovers. Back of the deck is Temperance and the King of Cups. They don't feel that now is the time for communication. There could be some practical complications, and it's like they're waiting for something. But they know that if there's a danger in that too, if they wait too long, it's like the transformation will be complete. It's like they're showing me Beauty and the Beast, where that rose is falling and that rose only has a certain amount of petals. And so the secrets that they keep, there's a reality about their 3D situation that they're worried about. And they're being complacent perhaps because of other relationships for you or for them. Because now the news that wants to come in, the bird that wants to take flight, is busy consoling this individual. And so there's decision that has to be made, and perhaps they're weighing out sort of a decision based on integrity, based on partnership as well. But they want closure, they want communication. They just don't feel like now is the time. They don't want to close the door on the possibility because their heart is in this. Like they don't want to, but they also have work to do. And their life is a canvas. So they have actually watched you online, or considered, even within the last year, they have watched you online and they have considered reaching out at that point. For someone watching, they may have even sent a message this past year. So please take that as it resonates. If you received like one message but then it sort of ended again, they do want to communicate, but they don't know if they're capable of it at this time. They also recognize that they're taking a risk that they may run out of time completely, and that they'll have to live in that result or live in that consequence. So their intentions are there, but just not yet. But the truth is, this hood over top of the Temperance, it's not raining, so it's like a parasol that's keeping the sun out. So as long as they are delaying, they're keeping the light out, they're keeping the sun out, they're keeping the clarity out of the connection, and they are risking running out of time. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 2, please. The last thought they had about pile number 2 in the bowl. 3 of Wands. The lack of momentum. Things staying in one place. 8 of Cups. And feeling kind of dissatisfied. It's like I took baby steps and then we walked away. I should have empowered myself. I should have moved on by now. But it is what it is. It's what it feels like. Like my situation is what it is. My feelings for you are what they are. What can I do? But what they can do is step into the unknown, tap into their strength, stop fearing the change, and to lead in communication. Fight through the obstacles. The dust would settle, the smoke would clear. But that's what they're struggling with in the present moment. But nothing's better than this inspiration. We have in the bowl here the letters G, H, V, and B. There is that acorn of potential, somebody who was too afraid to plant, which left us feeling sort of, here's the Queen of Swords reversed, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, feeling like you're not important, feeling disempowered. It's like you also are afraid to step forward too, because this Wheel of Fortune feels a little bit stuck. And responsibilities, the turtle on his back, may be stopping the Knight of Wands from really charging forward with what they really want with immediate gratification. Could be responsibilities that get in the way of the fun. There is something with the grapes about intoxication, however. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. Hope it resonates. If it does, please drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me, but be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you're chosen the winner. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, and I have other links below for TikTok, for Instagram as well, so please check those out too. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the dark flower, and you're also drawn to the Queen of Wands, and this is your reading. How does the person in no contact feel about you at this moment, and are they going to reach out to you? Now, the Queen of Wands here, you can see that there's this volcano in the background, and I feel this sense of like waiting. It's like just waiting, waiting, waiting. And even the rose here, or the flower, is starting to sort of turn this dark color. So there's like a frustration that could be brewing as well in the delays or in the waits. But I feel like even the delays is only making the desire or the attraction stronger. Like I feel like you feel it just as intensely as you did in the past. So let's take a look here. How do they truly feel about pile number 3, please? And are they going to reach out? We have the Ace of Cups coming out with the 7 of Wands. How do they truly feel? Are they going to reach out, please? We have the Knight of Swords. This person believes that like a life with you would have been easier, or is easier, would be easier. Like they're just thinking that it would be like a downhill battle. It's like if they're feeling like it's an uphill battle in their current life, for you it's like running downhill. But now they're showing me like a kid running down a hill. And you know when kids run down a hill and they start to sort of gain momentum and they start to lose the ability to control their feet? And there's always that moment when you're watching them run down the hill that you're afraid they're going to go ass over tea kettle. They're just going to fall flat on their face. I feel like there was always this acknowledgement of like, this is how I feel about you, but I was afraid to fall on my face. We have the Four of Swords. Because you are a part of like a reality for this person that really stings. Yeah, there's the Devil here. Capricorn, very strong. And here's the Ten of Wands. And I just heard they still hold such a torch for you. Back of the deck is the Six of Wands. And we also have the Wheel of Fortune. There's something about them trying to hold on to confidence, though. This person is trying to hold on to confidence. It's like they still feel the connection. They could be connected to the Queen of Wands here. There could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy here. But it's like they're trying to stay very focused on abundance. They don't want to believe that this isn't possible. I feel like the length of the delay starts to build upon or starts to build pressure for them, or starts to break down some of their confidence, but they're trying so hard to maintain their confidence. They're also highlighting masks that were just worn. We have the Nine of Wands reversed coming out here. And there's a feeling of like, I'm so tired of holding back. It's like they want freedom from being held back. We have the Page of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position. And that's part of their reality that stings, is that there's a stuck energy here where things didn't go the way they were supposed to. And because they didn't go the way they were supposed to, that's why I'm challenged in life, or why things are not very abundant for me right now, because I didn't take the right path, because you were part of my right path. So there's this acknowledgement of them feeling like the two of you had destiny that they ignored. And now it almost feels like they're facing like a purgatory, and they're bringing forward that word for some reason. So that could mean something to you if you're Catholic, for instance. Like there's just something about that word of purgatory, of like being purged until you feel good enough, you know? It's like they're punishing themselves until they feel like they're good enough. We have the Nine of Cups coming through here, and some of my dog's hair too, because he is shedding right now. But here's the Nine of Cups reversed. And like, I feel like they're kind of almost torturing themselves sometimes, and yet still looking for solutions. It's like, even though they're not taking action, they're still wearing masks. They still expect, because their confidence is there and they're trying so hard to fuel confidence into a manifestation of you, they're expecting these big results, or they're expecting quick results when they're not taking action in this moment. And honestly, they do sometimes feel a little bit greedy. And this could be because they know that they are in an attachment right now, and it's not fair to that realm, or they know you're in an attachment and they know it's not fair to try to steal you away. It's like a piracy energy coming forward, because they feel kind of greedy with this attachment. We have the Temperance. Temperance has been a theme in all three piles today, actually, for the collective. We have the Fool back of deck with the Strength and the Four of Pentacles. They do show, for someone watching, a concern for their home realm in relation to their attraction for you. That could also be part of their reality that stings, because it feels like a bit of a victim mentality of like, I've been put upon, or it's like my environment stops me. It's like it's never, I don't want to say it's never their fault, but they do try to pass the buck of like, this is why I can't come forward now. It's like, this is why I couldn't do it in the past, and this is the why I can't do it now. It's like they're trying to blame their environment, or trying to blame outside circumstances for inaction today. There is a really strong, almost, it's like a wish fulfillment, a crush energy that does get presented here too. And all like, you still inspire, but they have nowhere to put that inspiration, so they just carry it with them wherever they go. And it is exhausting. Like there's an exhaustion that comes in. I feel like it affects their mood. Could even affect their other relationships, because it's like they go into their own little world, and they forget that they created that own little world for themselves. I do feel like they are currently watching you, actually. And they have thought in the past, actually the recent path, of just charging forward with communication, of like, I'm going to give you my my clarity whether you like it or not. It's like this mentality of like, I'm just charging through, I'm going to give it to you whether you like it or not. But they did stop themselves because the reality hit them, and then they felt stagnated. It's like the truth keeps revealing itself to them, but they keep burying it up and putting their head in the sand. This person does lack a little bit of accountability as to what put them here in this position in this moment, because now they're saying, it's like, you were the benchmark of my failure, and if I just walked through this path of life with you, then I wouldn't feel dissatisfied. I would feel completely satisfied. Right now the Nine of Cups is reversed, which means I'm not feeling that satisfied, and I came to that conclusion through the path that I walked. But they reached that conclusion independently, because ultimately it's not that their environment is inherently bad, it's that they're weighing that environment against their intense feelings for you. And that's going to pale in comparison, because it's just built up pressure and pressure and pressure, like, lava flowing in the present moment. They are tired of holding back. And there is this, in their opinion of things in this moment, this person does feel like you are the pathway towards like emotional abundance and new happiness and abundance overall. It's just that they're trying to figure out the solutions to get to you. And they do feel like it's going to require a leap of faith, where perhaps they have to step away from environments that they feel, institutions perhaps, that they feel have been holding them back. Because there's a certain amount of thirst. So this person doesn't feel very satisfied in their commitment cycles if they are part of one. And I will say this, Spirit is saying they don't have a full spectrum of that environment. They're really allowing their internalized feelings to paint that in a certain light, but that's their business and their cross to bear in that moment. But they are thirsty for that reunion. But there's the Ten of Pentacles, and it's connected to the Ten of Wands, which we have in the future position here. So this is part of the issue, Hierophant energy, of why they're keeping the Queen of Wands waiting. Taurus, because otherwise, look at this, otherwise they would be in a relationship with you, but they feel helpless to return to someone, and it's like they're applying logic to the situation because their ego's telling them all of this, and it seems super logical. It seems super logical to stay put and to keep things in stagnation and to sort of blame things around me than it is to take action. But they have to take a leap of faith towards you if they want to create solutions, and they have to take their masks off in the environments that they have been wearing them. But they still, this person, despite all of this, despite all of the complications, which I feel like there's a lot of complications here in this pile, despite all of this, they still have this really strong, like, confidence towards another chance or another opportunity. It's like they still are trying so hard to maintain this confidence, because they are convinced that this connection, if they could enter into it, it's all downhill. It's so much easier than what I've experienced. How do they truly feel, please? We have here, you and your loved ones are safe, and a time for healing. Now, I do feel like there are loved ones involved, or there could be other people that would be influenced by this connection if things were to progress. It says it's time to show the world the real you. And if they do want to move into healing, if they do want to experience abundance in all forms, they're going to have to show who they truly are to their loved ones, to their environment, and to you. They are in this moment in meditation and contemplation regarding this connection, new moon in Pisces. Now, this card actually came out in pile 1 or pile 2. I believe it might have been pile 2. And so there is also this message of like sort of chasing each other around, or like a cat and mouse game that did happen between the two of you. How do they truly feel, please? I will say this, like they are, it's almost like addicted to this crush energy, like addicted to the attraction that they have for you. They are in need of help, assistance, and guidance to create clarity. They do look at you. I keep saying they do look at you as the solution, pile 3. We have news is on the way. But they may require a little help to kind of execute that news. We have a lobster, financial pinch. along with affairs from the family or affairs with your family. Now, I sometimes take that card literally. If there is a family unit, they sometimes fantasize about having an affair, or they fantasize about coming forward anyway. They do consider you like their person, quote unquote. And the financial pinch is about their environment, about how they feel like they've outgrown that environment. But to shed that protection is very vulnerable. We have here, you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. And we do have success, but stepping into a new situation. So even though the path that they are on, as much as they don't feel like it has reached some type of successful level, at least not emotionally for them, there is a lot to lose there. There is a lot to lose there. So they still, despite all of that, they still have this focus on success. They have this focus on stepping into a new experience, being vulnerable, and coming forward with some sort of information. How are they currently feeling, please, about pile number 3? I want to hold your hand. But what do you want from me? How do they currently feel, please? It says here, I'm coming back. Because I feel like we could have had it all together. It says here, but I'm not ready. And no one has ever made me feel like you do. They first had to have the contrast and experience the contrast before they could come up with that conclusion here. I am now being driven by responsibility. But can we start over? Back of the deck we have here, keep your chin up. They're trying so hard to hold on to this idea of like, this is destiny. So if we miss the boat the first time, it's okay because it's destiny. So we're going to have another chance. They're really hoping for that. They also, I just saw my heart recognized you instantly. So they're really hoping that that will ring true. So let's take a look at the future of the connection and see if, are they going to reach out to pile number 3, please? What do you see in the future of this connection? Knight of Wands jumping through the Fool's Hoop, through the fire. The Knight of Wands, he's wearing a top hat. And actually, it's like a female. She's sitting side saddle. You know, they sit side saddle when they're trying to be prim and proper. So it's like complacency with the top hat. Status as well with the top hat. Trying to be prim and proper. And yet here's this Fool's Leap with the Knight of Wands. Now they are afraid of the unknown. We have the Ten of Wands with the Temperance in the future position of your normal spread here, your original spread, which means that they are delaying the desire that they have. So there could be a delay here in their intentions. We have the Eight of Pentacles. I do feel like they're like working on it. They're working on the plan. They're working on themselves. And they're speaking about like creative accountability when it comes to this connection. Two of Wands. They're working on a plan, Spirit just said. And they are talking about the internet. They're going to bring the internet into play. They're going to contact you online. I do feel they are going to reach out to you. Now, in a perfect world, you can see she's sitting there with the expansion. She's got that sailboat in her hand and she has her hand on her hip. So they are, in a perfect world, you'll reach out before they do. In a perfect world, they won't have to take an active approach and you'll just reach out before they do. They are currently making the plan, but they also recognize that when it comes to taking that risk and getting the immediate gratification is great, but they may also have to face consequences within their communities and within their environment as well. So they're working on a plan and they have their eye on you. They have their eye on you. I do feel like there will be expansion. I feel like their plan Again, in an ideal world, because they're afraid of other people's opinions, in an ideal world, you'll do it first. But there's the Ace of Cups. Here's the Page of Wands. And because they're already looking at you online, it's like they're already... It's like, I just heard Toucan Sam, following your nose. It's like they're already seeing which path they want to take, or they're already making that plan. They may have even forged the message. It just hasn't hit send yet. But the Ace of Cups does talk about the ability for the two of you to move into at least more clarity in the very least. With this new information or with this new communication that comes in online, it will give you the opportunity to decide which path you want to take even further in this connection. Now, I should say, Pile 3, that they're not looking for closure. So I just want to put that out there. They're not looking for closure. They're looking to quench a thirst and to follow their curiosity to see if they're right all along about the connection itself. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. What's the last thought they had about pile number 3 and contact in the bowl? They're stressed out about it, but they're thinking about communication and thinking about how, and I feel like this was wishful thinking, but it could be very much on point, thinking about how disappointed and heartbroken you both are in this situation. But there's a certain amount of stress and like not wanting to disappoint, maybe even a karmic relationship or a third party. It's like being worried about causing stress, or I'm stressed out because of karmic connections in this moment, and that's why they haven't come forward up to this point. They do signify, your guides say, that the information that does come in may come in later, because there is the Temperance energy, and that asks us to find joy in the journey and have patience. Ooh, we've got a lot of charms in the bowl today. We have X and J, D, V, and D. I'm sorry, O. We also have Taurus energy here, and somebody who's keeping a secret with the High Priestess. We have the letter Z. I do think of dreams. It could also be an initial. We have made with love. So there could be children invested here, or the two of you may have met in childhood or at the coming of age, but there could be children here at this point. We do have here the Three of Pentacles that are not filled. So, and I hear that Dixie Chick song that says, not a night goes by that I don't dream of wandering in the home that might have been. So I keep hearing that as well. No matter where. It's like, it doesn't matter what my responsibilities are here with the nickel and the beaver, because it's a very family-oriented creature. It's like, no matter what the circumstances are, there is still a place for you in my heart. I do think of Taurus, May, and the 5th of any month. And we also have here, like, I think of the ambulance, the Red Cross. I also think of Greece, and they're showing Greece, and they're also showing me like the Kundalini awakening. So you're a part of this person's awakening. You awoke something in them. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. If it did, drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. And I also have links down below for TikTok, for Instagram, so you can check me out on those platforms as well. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage.